cover.
Lots of people attending this introduction.
Who's chair?
Rory's vice. Okay. Alright. Welcome to the Finance Strategy and Management Committee meeting on this lovely sunny evening. Long may that continue. First item, apologies presence.
We have apologies from the Mayor, Councillor Buckley, and Councillors Hoskins and Grant.
Thank you. Does any council have a declaration of interest to make at this meeting? No. Public participation? I see none. 4 minutes. First is to approve the committee meeting minutes from the 24th of June 2025. Actually, I believe Councillor Reisman, you had something to say on this.
Yes, the item number 6, the explanatory paragraph under 6A belongs under 6B.
Right.
So I'm happy to propose that with that amendment, the minutes are approved.
Yeah, it's fine.
As in the narrative below 6A. So it was clarified that whilst only one.
Yes.
Yes, so that does refer to 6B.
Yeah. So it just needs moving below.
It's so the narrative would appear before the resolution.
Oh, I see.
But I can see
right.
how that would,
Yes.
I could see how that would be confusing. As in, you have the discussion, then you have the resolution. But yeah.
Yes. In that case, yes, we can leave it as it is, rather than have you to word process these as we go. Wouldn't want to cause you any more work.
Which is, I'll take it.
Okay, I propose that we approve the minutes as on page.
Thank you.
I propose that we leave them as is.
So you're proposing to ignore your earlier proposal?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Right, okay. All in favour?
I used to love changing the minutes.
Yeah.
Always one of my great joys.
And 4B, to note the minutes of the 353-457 Reading Road Working Group meeting. Yeah. Anyone wish to say anything?
The only comment I'm going to make, perhaps the town clerk can confirm, we believe we have a programme of use which is now, and this is a critical point really, we have a programme of use which has an agreement of all parties. Is that correct, or am I being premature?
Yes, that has now been confirmed.
Right.
Does that include the FIFA documentation for the pitch?
As in the kind of the FIFA accreditation.
Yes.
No, so the programme of use
The one
is
that's required for the planning commission.
yeah. So that is still outstanding.
Okay.
But no, the programme of use. So who's going to be using the pitch when? That has all been finalised now.
Excellent. I'm delighted about that.
And yeah, well, we should congratulate the deputy town clerk for his efforts there. Who
All concerned really, all stakeholders.
Well, everyone, yes, but Steve has drawn together.
It's been a joint effort. It's been a real joint effort.
Yeah, so we'd like to thank the AFC and all the other organisations that have resulted in that. It is all good to go. The 3G pitch will be.
And
They
2G.
will all be, and 2G as well. But in September we will have 2 brand new sporting facilities, £1 million 3G pitch, which is a fantastic achievement for the town.
Seems a good way to celebrate our women's win in Basel.
Yeah.
I don't think we perhaps take the credit for when we do finally win the
Do you know, that's an idea. Perhaps we could attempt one of them to come and officially open it.
That is a good idea. We talk about the opening ceremony.
I'm trying to think if any of them have any local connections.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's a great
Can
idea.
we investigate that type of?
So from the Lionesses or what from the Spanish team?
We don't want to rub it in.
Well, the coach from the Spanish team is only next door to where I live, so I don't know her personally.
Got a penalty
The
shoot
Spanish
out.
team played very well, so I'm sure we'll be happy with that.
Could be alternative, but have something a bit different. Why not? Yeah.
Yes. Right, so now on to finance. I don't think we need that to vote to. On to finance. Then we'll have any questions on the management accounts or bank reconciliations? Anything else? No.
The only thing I brought up earlier is that early on in the year it was explained to me by the accountant that the year-end forecast doesn't really benefit from being changed as the year progresses and until later on in the year. And then, at the moment, all the year-end forecasts are the same as the budget. But that will change, and so we'll be able to take a look at those in
We discuss that in more detail next meeting.
Yes, yes. It looks like we're spectacularly on target. But
Let's hope we are. Any more for any more? In which case we'll move on to expenditure. This is verbal temple.
As part of the council's move away from using glyphosate or reducing its glyphosate use, then it was recommended that we buy a weed ripper machine to help with basically the manual removal of weeds, especially from the council's own parks and open spaces. It has already been bought out of revenue budget, and we're asking basically for that amount, which is £1,900, to be biased to capital expenditure.
No, I don't see a problem with this, so I'm happy to propose. Second, thank you, Councillor Croucher. Anyone else wish to speak to this? All in favour? Thank you very much. Next one, item 7, to review and approve the anti-fraud and corruption policy. Unless anyone has anything that they wish to say on this, I'm going to suggest we take them together unless the town clerk tells me we can't.
It is the one policy.
One policy, yeah. That strategy is.
so you take the policies as a whole.
Yes.
I propose that we accept it. I did try to find something in it where I could pick it out, but it's
And
completely.
if there was anything there, you would have found it, I have no doubt.
So I propose acceptance, and well done to the town clerk.
Review second.
Reducing the cost.
I'll second it, yeah, happy to do.
Lovely. Do you wish to speak? All in favour? Thank you very much. Community governance review. I believe, Councillor Riceman, you have a proposal to make on this.
I do. A few things to say about it as well, but I'll make a proposal first. So I propose that Henley Town Council strongly oppose this proposal on the grounds of democratic accountability, and write to SODC, who are issuing this community governance report, stating the detailed concerns regarding these proposals, which I will go into, and ask the OCC and SODC officers conducting this review to meet with the Town Council to work through these concerns, and that the MP is asked to give his views and attend that meeting, and that OCC and SODCs are asked to consider and develop ways to work round the wording of the Act and to find a way to maintain the status quo of warding arrangements at both district and town levels. So that's my proposal.
Excellent. Town clerk, did you get all of that?
I did indeed. Thank you very much.
You should have you should have seen that, I think,
Yes.
already. And I'd like to just speak to that if I can. Unless you want to second it.
I'll second first, so then you can go on to.
So there is a proposal to split the town council from its current Henley North and Henley South wards, with 8 members each, into 3 wards. Henley North, which is the same as before, with 8 councillors. Henley South, which will be reduced in size and reduced to 5 councillors, and have a Henley South and Newtown area, which is 3 councillors. And the reason for that is that the Oxfordshire County Council warding arrangements were changed for the recent elections, which instead of having a single Henley County Council ward, it was split into Henley North and Henley South and Sonning Common ward. And the reason this proposal is being made is there is a local government statute that at parish level, each ward may only be wholly within a single OCC ward. And the current arrangements, that would not be the case because the existing Henley South is in both the Henley North County Council division and the Henley South and Sonning Common County Council division. And the wording of the Act seems clear, as the town clerk pointed out to me. And this proposal is therefore following the Act, but there is no advantage that I can see from the proposed new arrangements, and I believe they're significantly inferior for the following reasons. The current arrangements of having a Henley North and Henley South and 8 councillors in each have been in place for many years and are well understood and supported by the electors. There's never been any suggestion that these arrangements could or should be improved. It places an extra burden on parties which stand across the Henley South and Newtown wards, in that they have to produce a separate set of candidates, separate set of literature, and a campaign in a separate way. And it also creates what I believe are a democratic deficit. So electors per councillor in different wards will be different. They're supposed to be the same. They always vary a bit, but they won't be the same. And it seems to me it will be hard to explain why an elector in Henley North is voting and electing 8 councillors, and in Henley South or Henley South and Newtown, they would only be electing 3. That seems unfair and unequal, and I can't think of a justification for that. And if, for example, the mayor is from Henley North, the Henley North councillors can simply outvote the other 2 wards at any point. And perhaps the most problematic part of this, what I consider poorly drafted legislation, which makes, I think, an unreasonable lack of flexibility in the warding arrangements, is that the SODC wards, in which Henley has a single ward at the moment with 3 councillors, that would have to be aligned similarly. And I don't see, you can just about manage to massage 16 councillors into 3 wards, but you couldn't possibly do that with 3 councillors. So I don't see the problem as soluble at the district council level, and the rules are exactly the same under the Schedule 2 of the Act as they are for parish councils. So that's why I'm proposing that we sit down and talk with the district council and the county council and attempt to resolve this matter in a way which maintains the current level of democratic accountability or even improves it, and addresses the significant issue of the district council representation, which for some reason isn't being proposed to us. I don't understand why that is. It seems to have been overlooked. Because the next elections will be for town and parish on the same date, in May 2027. So those are my reasons. So I think we should strongly oppose it, is my view.
Thank you, Councillor Rice, and I completely agree with all your reasons, particularly those regarding democratic deficit. We don't have that system at Westminster where you'd end up voting for multiple MPs. You have one MP. So why should it be that some people get to choose 8 and some people get to choose 3? That seems completely inconsistent and unnecessary. It's the sort of bureaucratic red tape that gives government a bad name, and which I'm glad we're going to oppose as long as the rest of the council is free. Who else wish to speak?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Councillor Rice and Ian. Well done for summarising that absolutely coherently. And yes, we should make stronger representations to the district to actually point out that this is just a stupid arrangement. Our existing arrangements of 8 in the north and 8 in the south have worked for years and years and years. And as you quite rightly said, the electors in the north elect 8, the electors in the south elect 8, and that's fair and reasonable. Whereas, as you pointed out, the electors in the bit of Henley towards Tesco would only be voting for 3 councillors. So therefore, definitely a discussion needs to be had. So well done and thank you. And I will of course support the motion. Yes.
Care to say anything? Or
Well, I just, this came completely out of the blue. I just couldn't believe what I was reading, quite frankly. It's totally unnecessary, a complete shock to me. I think, the whole of Henley should be very, very concerned about what they're trying to do here. They're trying to make out some kind of justification for it, but at the end of the day, practically, I can't see, any common sense reason for this proposed change. I'm totally siding with my colleagues on this one.
I just can't understand why they're wasting their time with it.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, it's just completely nonsensical. I mean, there's various people have said we've had the system of councillors, governance, however you want to call it, in place for goodness knows how many years. It works. Why change it? Why create work for the sake of creating it? So,
This does come across as a waste of time and money.
I think we're all in alignment on it. We oppose it.
I think the other thing that I'd like to add into this is ask the town clerk to write to our MP with a summary of Councillor Weissman's points and make the strong representations to him as well. And somebody might have to write to a minister about this and say this legislation really doesn't work.
And I presume they're trying to do this across the whole district, by the looks of it.
Could I clarify? I think there are two things here. So at the moment there is the community governance review that is being suggested is for suggestions for review in the autumn. However, what has happened in Henley, by my understanding, has already happened. Has already been enacted when the county council boundaries were reviewed. That was my reading of it. So this has already happened and it cannot be reviewed for another 5 years. And they say, as we said, it is as a result of the legislation. They have no choice. They have to align the parish ward boundaries with the county council boundaries. So that's the reasoning for doing it. So I suppose the question would be, I don't know what power either the district or county councils would have to be able to review or change what has already happened, basically.
Well, we better find out pretty quick then, hadn't we? I mean, it was, Stefan, may I ask your advice, was that made clear to county councillors when this was all proposed by Oxfordshire County Council?
No, it was explicit the other way, actually. I was reassured that, in fact, once the county council's divisions were reorganised, that the division of parishes and district council elections were a matter for South Oxfordshire. I didn't realise that there was this overarching legislation that actually said you've got to be in the same ward, which just seems daft to me. So the answer is no, it wasn't made clear, and I was actually chairing the review of the divisions in the county council. So the knock-on implications, no, it wasn't made clear. I thought at the time that it was done. It was done for very good reasons, and I think had the implications come out before, then we would probably have a different slant on the way we did it. But I have been told by South Oxfordshire that in fact it was an independent process, this review. If it's not, then let's get together and see if there is a way out of it or not.
Well, I think there's 2 points worth considering. Firstly, were the town council ever consulted on the county council? If the county council changes explicitly made the change at town level, were we consulted? I don't remember being consulted. I may have missed something somewhere. I'm pretty certain that any change to the arrangements at town level were not made visible to us. Yeah. And I don't see how a change of that sort could be made without consultation. Yeah. That's the sort of thing which would present the opportunity for a legal challenge to the process. Secondly, the issue of the district council I consider to be insoluble. I don't see how the arrangements that have been made and the conditions of Schedule 2, which are very clear for both district and town councils, which is that the electoral area of every ward of the parish having a parish council must lie wholly within a single electoral area of the county council, and the same wording for the district council. I cannot see how that could possibly be done in a way that was anywhere near fair. And so they And that must break the rules of the way that the boundaries are set. And so I think we need answers to those two questions as a minimum from the district council, to those who are doing that. It may be that they have decided it, but I think I suspect that they could be accused reasonably of maladministration here by failing to take into account the implications of their decision and failing to consult.
Especially the implications on the district council elections.
Indeed.
Because you would have two district councillors for the Henley North and Henley South, and then one councillor for Newtown.
Yeah.
Or they'll have to be, and they would be elected by fewer voters.
Well, the only way you could have three would be to one for each ward. There'd be no
Yes.
other solution. You can't split councils in half, much as
Yeah.
people would
Also-
like to at some point.
Newtown.
But then you have the democratic deficit problem of
Correct. Yeah.
completely different numbers of people per councillor.
Well, vastly different. I mean, small differences are permitted, but the whole reason for this change was that the number of councillors, the number of electors per county councillor was beyond the limit.
Yes.
And so that what they've done is they've solved one problem and created a much worse one.
Plus, you're then going into the first past the post system rather than slightly fairer,
More
more
closely.
closely than the current system, which allows for more realistic representation.
I'd be interested.
Sorry,
to
Darren.
answer.
So just to clarify, so we did receive an email, it was this time last year actually, from the Local Government Boundary Commission for England with the final recommendations, which was sent to councillors noting that the parish wards would be increased from 2 to 3. And there'd be a slight increase in the Henley North ward with the small bit from the Vixen Assendon parishes. However, we did note at that time that we hadn't been consulted on those changes to the parish to the parish boundaries at that point, and that was the point that the final recommendations were going to basically be put before Parliament.
Could I just say one bit?
Of course.
Town Clerk, can I ask you to contact Tame Town Council to see what their views are? Because in the Tame paragraph, which is page 56, Tame Town Council will comprise 16 councillors as at present, representing 2 wards. Tame East with 15 councillors and Tame West with 1. The town is currently divided into South and North, each with 8 councillors. So they've got exactly the same arrangements historically
It's a
as
daft.
8
it's
and
not
8.
daft.
And there you've got an even more stupid arrangement for Tame, where you've got 16 councillors and a small rump, which is 1.
This does sound like something out of a government farce, really.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
thinking Clochemar. However,
Anyway,
before you
we've done it.
Yeah, I think we're all in violent agreement.
Yes.
I've got one other thing that puzzles me. So what is this document? It's dated the 8th of July, and it says to consider a proposal to commence a community government review. So if it's already been decided, what is being commenced? What is the proposal? I simply don't understand.
It's a
what we're being asked.
recommendation.
So to clarify, the changes that happened with Henley, they are noted there almost for information. So this is asking parishes what changes they would like to see moving forward, and this is what has recently happened. So there is a bit of confusion there. So we're being asked if we would like to see any changes moving forward.
Back to 8 councillors in each ward.
Yeah, could we actually do this based on common sense rather than than following rules blindly? Which, of course, it may be possible that there are exemptions that can be sought where the rules setting out boarding arrangements are clearly, I think preposterous isn't the district council isn't too strong a word. They simply do not have the ability to make under the restrictions they seem to be applying to themselves, a sensible proposal or anywhere near a sensible proposal. And so we do need to have a discussion with them, and maybe they could clarify these points about why they've done this, what the process is, what's already happened, and what's being proposed to happen,
Yes. Right, I think we
and why we weren't consulted.
Yes. Well, as we were all in absolute agreement on this, I think we could probably just move to a vote. So all in favour of the proposal? Thank you very much. Right, I'm looking forward to that meeting.
Yes, me too.
So the next one is to consider opening a CCLA public sector deposit account to maximise short-term interest income. So thank you, Mercedes, for putting together this report. Do I have a proposal or second before we move on to discussion?
Proposal of acceptance.
Thank you. Seconder? Right. Do you wish to speak to it?
I think this is a common sense move, really. I mean, if it allows us to find additional ways of bringing in revenue, okay, it's 12 grand, but that's still 12 grand, not an amount to be sniffed at. I think this is worth pursuing.
Yes. Sheldon, you wish to speak to second?
I echo that. Could have put it better myself.
I have some concerns about this. I'd say the fact that it's not SCS protected and the fact that it's not an instant access. And generally speaking, if things in finance look too good to be true, they might very well be. But
Those are two very fair points. Yeah.
so I have concerns that if there's an issue, we can't get the cash instantly, and that if at any point our balance drops under 1 million, we are all of a sudden at a quarter of the rate that we were at before. So if we did need access to cash quickly, we could then end up in a worse position than we are now. I'm not saying don't do it, I'm just saying these are things that I think we need to be considering.
I'm sorry, Councillor Wiseman. I would say that if our accountant, if our finance manager thinks it's a good thing to do, then I am supportive of our officer. With all due respect, she's an experienced finance officer, and I support what she wants to do.
I don't disagree with that at all. This is just, I was just points I thought going through the report.
I think there needs to be clarification there. It's the annual management charge, which is 0.2%.
Oh, sorry, yes.
If it's under 1 million and drops to so it's not the interest.
Sorry, Mum.
The interest would be 4.28% regardless of the amount.
At the top of page 64, bullets point 7, the fund is instant access, withdrawals on demand.
That is not what it says on page 62.
It's 1 to 3 days. But
Okay.
actually, it's all down to because for us, that was one of our main concerns. We do actually look at the cash flow very immediately. So whenever we are doing the payment run or the payroll, the first thing is just to check how we are with the cash flow, whether we need to transfer money from the instant access account into the
Okay.
account.
Worst case is 3 business days.
When we ask, the worst case is 1 to 3, but actually they said if we have actually sent the instruction by 11:30, the money can be in the account on the day.
Yeah, so I think the chair was right to raise that as a concern, but I'm satisfied that is.
I would say on the pros and cons comparison, I think actually the headings, apologies, I didn't spot this, but actually the headings should be the other way around. So the CCLA Public Sector Deposit Fund should be on the right, and Business Saving Account should be on the left.
Yes, it's.
So apologies, I didn't say that. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yes, oh dear.
So I think, as has already been outlined, we are potentially gaining approximately £12,000 per year. But not only that, I'm trying to find the text now. These are in the top of page 61. It talks about the nature of the investments, and that they are, in particular, the first paragraph under point 1. It says. It is an investment management company known for its focus on sustainable and ethical investment. And so, although we haven't got details of those, if we are investing more ethically,
I would be very sceptical.
I would prefer, at least the intentions are good, or the stated intentions, and it would be useful to find out if they have any metrics. I don't think this isn't going to affect the decision to go ahead, but it would be useful, I think, for people to know that that the town council does invest ethically. I've been pushing ethical investment for this town council's funds for quite a long time, and I'm delighted that we have made good progress on that over the last 15 years, and this is another step in the right direction. But if we can find out a bit more information about the way they calculate the ethical nature of the investments, that would be a good thing to do. But I regard it as win-win. It appears to be more ethical, and we are making money.
Yes, no, I think
get improved return.
I think this is something we need to continue to monitor.
Yeah.
I am actually quite concerned by how high the interest rate is. I'm struggling to reconcile that as making sense with the rest of the market.
Yes, I take your point about usually things look too good to be true. That's because they are too good
So
to
I'm
be true.
trying to work out where's the catch.
Yeah. I remember, back 20 years ago, the Icelandic banks. Yeah.
Champion of America called Madoff.
Yeah.
Mr. Ponzi's.
Yes, the district council that got stung. I remember. We didn't.
It could be worse, it could be the Lehman Brothers,
Exactly, yes. Sorry, Councillor Gavin.
No, it's fine. On your particular point, how quick is this to set up? And also the converse is how quick is it to unwind
Yes.
if we realise there's a problem?
I'll have to check on that.
Is it just a case of writing them a letter saying, give us our dosh back, and within a month we get the dosh back?
Sorry.
If you can clarify that, because of course if it's,
Access to funds is 1 to 3 business days. So
so you can take the whole lump out.
Yes.
Okay.
And then just close the account. So the fastest thing is to access to move all the funds.
Okay, good.
So the answer is very quick.
The answer is very quick, yes. So if there's a problem, we can unwind it rapidly. Good,
I
yeah,
think we should probably go ahead but monitor.
Yeah.
fine, yeah, good.
Right then, so we have a proposal. All in favour? Thank you very much. So next up, we have Old Fire Station Gallery option to tax. Do I have a proposal?
Well, I don't know if our officer wants to speak to it, but I would have just a couple of, I'm wholly in favour of it.
So would
I
you like to
think,
propose
but-
and then we can move on to debate?
Yeah, I'm happy to propose it, but with a couple of
I'll
caveats.
second, yes.
With a couple of caveats. I just want to make sure that the price is not going to be going up, to cover for that VAT element, for the higher, for users. And I just have a little bit of a doubt about how you can exactly forecast how much income is going to be coming to us over the next few years to make sure that we do really have the benefit of as much as you say we're going to have. That's my only points really.
Shall I speak to this?
I mean, so the gallery is fully booked with waiting lists, so so we can be pretty sure about the income that we receive from it. Save any issues that cause it to be closed, like renovation, for example. But other than that, we can be pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the old fire station is very popular with users, and as Town Clerk says, it's fully booked up. I don't see that element of risk. There's a strategic question for us here, in that we are taking a short-term gain, or rather, we're ruling out a short-term loss of £52,000, and in future years we will lose a couple of thousand per year. 20% of the income in VAT that we'll have to pay. Now, so I don't think this is cut and dry. It looks superficially attractive, and of course, for the next year, for the current year's the budget position, that's clearly advantageous. Taking the longer term view, say 10, 20 years, is it the right thing for us to do? And one option would be, I think Councillor Thomas is right to raise this, and maybe as either an opportunity or as a downside, is that we'd have to raise prices to recoup that 2,000 per year. So on the whole, I think I'm in favour of this, but I think it raises an interesting point about our financial strategies, short term and long term.
Now, I take a long-term view on financial strategies. You all know.
You're younger than me.
But I'm looking at this thinking, if we just took that money and invested it, then we would get a reasonable return. And if you imagine, if we don't have that money, then we're not going to take less out of investments. So if you look at it purely on the income versus what we potentially lose, then it looks about even, slightly worse on the lose side. However, if you look at it in terms of what we gain by leaving that money in investments, it will almost certainly be higher. And after 20 years, we can then revoke. So if we're looking at a 20-year forecast, it's almost as if you're doing a 20-year bond, then this does look like it's beneficial to the council without having an impact on prices.
That's true. Getting a 3% return on 52,000, looking at it as income,
Yes.
rather than but we would lose the 3% on 52,000 that we'd have to pay extra. So, and that's most of the 2,000.
So the question is, would you make would market returns be averaging more or less at 3%?
Well, with goodness knows what's going to happen. But our shares can go up as well as down, as they say. So on the whole, I think I'm in favour, but it's not quite as clear as it was when I first read through this and thought that's a great idea.
Councillor Thomas.
Sorry, I thought that I read that we could change it back again in 5 years if we wanted to, but now I can't find.
I'm looking at 3.1, it says 20 years.
Oh, 20, it's 20 years. Yeah.
Yes,
That's,
it is.
If it was 5 years, it would be a no-brainer.
yeah, I must be getting my reports mixed up. No, but on the whole, on balance, I'm in the chair's camp in terms of,
Yeah.
we could reinvest that.
So am I, having heard the debate.
Yeah.
I think Mercedes was just.
Mercedes?
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing is on point number 2.4, I do actually say that it's a very complex exercise to do the VAT return just because of this partial exemption. So what prices are increasing, the cost for us, and sometimes that cost includes VAT. So there is no, when we're talking here about the 52,000 for the repairs, but any other thing that comes up in the future towards the old fire station, if there is VAT included, as soon as you've got more invoices going towards that, it's going to make it even more difficult.
So if we get a load of unexpected repairs, we win even more.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting way to look at it.
That was a very rosy tinted view.
Or even reducing the risk of not being able to be below that threshold that we currently have. Because if we go over the threshold, then we cannot.
Yeah.
Everything becomes part of our cost.
Is there anyone else wish to say any more on this?
Just one comment, thanking Mercedes for both of these reports.
Yeah,
This
it's great.
reading one and this one, well done. Thank you, and thanks for investigating it, and it looks good. Yeah.
Just one final remark from me. I mean, we've had two agenda items which could potentially generate revenue, let's say. And it's got me thinking, are there any other schemes out there we can potentially pursue with other stuff? Are we sweating our assets? So,
Good question.
yeah, throw the question out there.
It's something we're always looking at how we can maximise our income.
Yeah, and these are two examples. So I think what Rob's saying is don't stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Well
thank you
done.
very much.
Well
Yeah.
done. So, we've got a proposal, all in favour? Thank you very much.
And I hope Councillor Rovers doesn't say sweating his assets again.
Right, so
At least it wasn't Donald Trump
well,
saying
but
that.
before Councillor Rhodes talks about sweating more assets, it's the time to exclude the public and press.
Thank you.
So